Is it too simplistic to say Brayden should just kick off every time, like that first one where he kind of squibbed it down there? Can you just not do that every time? Because it sure looked like it worked pretty well.
Well, I think that one worked, right? If you turn on the Buffalo game from the other day, they had a vicious wind, they had a holder out there, they kicked one out of bounds, they had to kick into the wind a bunch. So I think as time goes on, they're all going to get a little bit better at some of those trick kicks, if you will, or those placement kicks in the hit zone. So I just think time will tell what people are going to do. And then, you know, the weather's going to change for all of us here sooner or later, and it may change some of the things people do as well.
Is it too early for you to know yet where this is going to go in terms of a trend? I mean, there's been a lot of touchbacks so far with this new rules. Do you feel like that's what we're going to ultimately see, or is it still, are you still kind of the jury's out?
Yeah, I'd say the answer is it's too early, and I think every game is going to be different. Every situation that you play in, weather-wise, is going to be different as the year goes on. So I think we got a long road to hoe, and we're just going to deal with what happens this week.
Rich, what did you think of the way Brayden kicked? What do you think of his kind of approach? How do you feel about him at this point?
Yeah, you know, on a big stage like that, you know, all the way over there for the first time, we thought he played well. I think he had 8 kicks in the game, went 7 for 8. He came back and hit the re-kick, you know, on the offsides penalty on the PAT, which, you know, he actually missed 2 re-kicks in Tennessee after they took a timeout when he was over there. So we thought he played pretty well. You know, did some good things on the kickoff. And again, the battery's improving, you know, as we go day by day, getting ready for the next game. So we'll expect him to keep playing well.
What do you think of the way that Matt and, you know, also with Daniel kind of welcomed him in, getting him comfortable as you kind of build that camaraderie, you know, with the operation?
Well, I think those guys are pretty accepting, you know, especially if you got a guy in it, you have the feeling that he's going to be your kicker. And they did a lot of extra work together on the snap, the hold, and giving him the line that he needs and trying to understand where he wants the ball leaned or how he wants it held. So, you know, respect to those 3 guys to work the extra time that they did.
He made that 59-yarder in the preseason. Obviously, that's a strong leg. Does he have like an exceptionally strong leg? I'm not sure if you can categorize it with some of the guys around the league.
Well, again, you know, he's got a strong enough leg. You know, he's done a lot of good things, and he's hit some big balls in practice. We have some wind issues out there to it and behind him, but he's got plenty of leg. So it's just a matter of your contact point and getting it to go where you want it to go on any given kick. Good.
The Colts returners pretty good. I mean, he's got some speed. What's the challenge with him?
Well, I think they got speed, you know, at both ends with those returners. I think the biggest challenge with them is that guy's come from Notre Dame and first year in the league last year. Their special teams coach, he's blocked 2 punts last year and he blocked a punt last week. So they've got some exotic looks that we have to protect against, and I think they do a really good job of playing extremely physical. They've got a fast unit, and you know the ability to block punts is something you have to protect against. And when you do it on a stage like this multiple times in multiple years, it's something you have to prepare for. So that's the biggest challenge we have right now.
Is that more of a troublesome thing early in the season, typically, giving up blocks?
No, I just think it's, you know, again, it's what you do in protection and how you do it in protection and the way you do it in protection to do a good enough job to protect the punter. And if they can exploit something that you're doing wrong that maybe you don't see, but again, I think he's come with a good system and he's done a good job with it last year, and it continued into the first game of the season this year.
Rich, going back to Brayden for a second, I mean, you've been in the league a really long time. How much of kicking success is the mental makeup and the approach that a kicker has, and do you have a feel for kind of how he is in terms of his mental approach?
Well, probably mental approach has a lot to do with everyone's position, right? Regardless of the sport. I listen to a lot of other pro athletes talk after they've done great things, and you know, I've actually listened to Aaron Judge talk a week ago after you know, hits a big home run, and when he crosses home plate in his mind that it's over, it's on to the next. And I think kickers that we've been around do the same thing. You know, glory is fleeting, so after you make that kick, you have to get ready to kick off, and what do you do with that? And you have to get ready for the next kick. So that being said, we like Brayden's makeup. It's kind of one of the things, you know, I think Goody talked about it, and, you know, Byron Storr's interview with him last year some of the notes that were made after the interview were about that, about his makeup, his personality, his self-confidence, and his ability to move on from one play to the next. And I think that's, that's what he's shown.
Brayden and Matt told us that the specialists are getting together for Thursday Night Football tonight, and Matt is making pasta in honor of his Italian coordinator. Do you think he's a better pasta maker or a better long snapper?
I can tell you, I will not be eating pasta at anybody's house but my wife's.